G'day, it's Will here, and in today's video, we're going searching for Victoria's most endangered parrot. And not just that, this parrot is one of the most unique parrots in all of Australia and the world. And this bird was also named the Australian Bird of the Year in 2023. And that parrot is the swift parrot, and it can only be found in Australia. And what makes this parrot so special is that it's only one out of 3 species of parrot in the world that migrate to new places. And yeah, only 3 parrot species in the whole world do that. They are the swift parrot, the orange-bellied parrot, and the last one being the blue-winged parrot, which all 3 of these parrots are exclusively found in Australia. But today, we're just gonna get swifty.
Gotta get swifty!
And talk about the swift parrot, which is a beautiful looking bird. They can grow up to 24 to 25 centimeters, and they are visually so unique. They are largely bright green all over, with their wings going into a red color scheme and blue patches on the wing too. Their tail is long and pointed with a dark red to maroon coloring. But it's their faces that shine the most. And their heads look super distinctive, with a giant red circle on the face, chin and throat, looking like a toddler has just vomited up their food on themselves. And all around the red circle is a yellow outlining too. And I have to say, I don't think I've seen any other bird or heard of any other bird that has a face pattern like the swift parrot. And there's some difference between the sexes, but not too much. My Swifty boys, they have a bright colour scheme to show off what they got.
Show me what you got!
But my female Swifties, they're a little less colourful and more dull in their colour scheme than the boys. Their diet includes the nectar found on flowering plants and of course seeds and flowers. So let's talk about their behaviour and most of all, their migration patterns. Their habitats include forests, woodlands, and flowering fruit trees. They can also be found in suburban parks where they are seen to be blasting music through their portable speaker. And when it's time to go to sleep for the swift parrot, they usually sleep in the exact same tree until they migrate. The swift parrot can be found in Tasmania from September to March, where this is the time they do their breeding. Why Tasmania? I don't bloody know, okay? Ask the swift parrot. And they're very tight on this tradition, with them only breeding in Tasmania and never in the mainland. When winter comes around, they escape it. From April to August, the swift parrot migrates to mainland Australia, which can be found all throughout Victoria, right up to New South Wales, and even southern Queensland they've been spotted too. And it's not like just one group of the swift parrot migrates. It's not like the males or just the females or even the babies. The whole squad gets involved and migrates together. And it's crazy to think that these little legends, only 25 centimeters tall, fly over the Bass Strait twice a year, which is known to have some really rough wind patterns. But the Swifties are fast flying birds. They can fly up to 88 kilometers an hour. That is twice the Australian school driving zone. And when they get to mainland Australia, they start in Victoria and slowly move up. And when they find an area they like, they might spend several hours there to even several months. It's very unpredictable. So in the birdwatching game, they're very rare to see, and everyone wants to see them. Now, it isn't just because of their unpredictable travel patterns that makes them so unique to see. It's actually quite sad because they are critically endangered, with a population in the wild of only 300 to 500. And unfortunately, it's believed by 2030 that they will be extinct. And the reasoning is because of all the logging to native forests in Tasmania. And as I previously said, the swift parrot is very picky with where they breed and start a family. And their favourite tree is the Tasmanian blue gum, which unfortunately since European settlement, 70% has been cleared. And the swift parrot was also crowned the Bird of the Year 2023 from BirdLife Australia, which is an Australian voted poll with over 11,000 votes just for the swift parrot, showing that people care and want to see the swift parrot safe and sound. So the swift parrot has been on my want to see list for ages, and a lot of other bird watchers too. So when there's word of swift parrot sightings, you have to jump on that opportunity. As much as I want to see this bird, the reality in the back of my mind is saying it's too hard and I won't get the chance. But that all changed when I saw on a Facebook group, out of all places, that someone saw a sighting of them. And they saw him at Chiltern National Park, just off the country town of Chiltern and 20 minutes away from Albury-Wodonga, which is a border city between Victoria and New South Wales. But it is a 4-hour drive from my house, so it's a little far. But I wasn't going into the national park blind. Went on the website eBird and checked that the local hotspots and sightings of the swift parrot and what parts in the national park they were at. From there, I had a 500 square meter area that I think the swift parrot's going to be in. Now it's time to drive to Chiltern, which I'm going to take my van after work and hopefully get there before midnight. And the best thing is that there's a rest area 5 minutes away from the national park, which is boring stuff to watch. So we're just gonna skip to me in the national park. Let's go. So right now it's the morning and I've reached Chiltern National Park last night in the middle of the night and had a few hours sleep, and in half an hour it will be sunrise and I'm about to go to the spot where the swift parrots have reportedly been seen. So let's hope we see them. Okay, so I've just made it to the location in the national park and it's just a 200-meter walk from now. I'm excited, and you know, when word comes out that there's a rare bird, there's other cars. So hopefully we see the swift parrot and other people aren't annoying them, or maybe I might be the one annoying them. Nah, I won't be, because I'll be hiding in the bushes taking photos of them. Alright, let's go for this walk now. The next part was to find the area, and that didn't take too long, but I ended up getting lost for a second. And then I looked to my right and I found the dam. It was time to set up my camera and let the bird watching begin. I'm just setting up the camera, and right there at the end of the lake are swift parrots. There's swift parrots. See, not even finished setting up the camera, we've already found them at the dam. I better get ready because swift parrots. Well, unfortunately they weren't swift parrots. I was just a bit excited. But what I still saw was super cool. It was 2 Tescoy parrots, which was a new bird sighting for me. And these stunning little parrots can grow up to 20 to 22 centimeters tall. They can be found in pairs or small groups, and they're found all throughout Southeast Australia, from southern Queensland to northeast Victoria. And they weren't the only birds that showed up to the party. There were a bunch of yellow-tufted honeyeaters hanging out on a tree branch by the water. They can be found in southern Queensland right down to western Victoria. So seeing so many birds in the first 20 minutes was great, and we're off to a good start. The gang has arrived. The gang is here, right up there. Camera's getting it all. We got the swift parrots. This is great. I finally got to see the swift parrot, and I'm so happy because this is my rarest bird sighting so far. And as happy as I am with the sighting, the inner photographer of me is screaming because they are so far away and the harsh sunlight is making it hard to photograph them. The wild. And I think there's about maybe 20. So the Swifties have just spent like the last 10 minutes in the trees, and I just really want them to come down to the dam, because if they come down to the dam, well, we'll get better photos of them. And I made sure to keep my camera on the swift parrots and watching them and their behaviour, and it was quite interesting. 1 or 2 of them would fly to the top of the tree branch and call the others to come. From there, they would do the same thing to a closer tree branch to the dam. They would land, look around, and if the place was good, they would call the others. All of them swarming the dam and drinking together, and then they would quickly fly off. And when they flew off, it was time to have some trail mix for breakfast. The best of the best. But just because I saw them doesn't mean I was done. It was still early in the morning and I was staying to hope to see more swift parrots and other birds. And after the swift parrots, a crimson rosella and a noisy firebird appeared, which is a large species of bird growing up to 30 to 35 centimeters. They can be found from the tip of Cape York to eastern Victoria and also South Australia along the Murray River.
The swift parrots returned and I got more photos of them. This time, they're drinking.
And this time was much better, getting a lot of close-up shots. And after the rotation of swift parrots, I also got to see a kingfisher, which was also a great find. They can be found all throughout Australia, and now the bird sightings are slowing down because it's getting later in the day and the temperature is getting much hotter too. I started to lose hope I wouldn't see the swifties again, until a large group of over 15 of them came to say hello. I was able to get one of my favourite shots ever. And that was the group of swift parrots all having a bath together. And I don't think anything is going to top that for a while, even though it was a bit out of focus. I love this footage so much because it shows the personality of the swift parrot, showing them just jumping around and having fun. And it hurts my soul to think that these birds are critically endangered, that there's only half of 1,000 of them, only 500. It is crazily sad to think of. But the more people are aware of the swift parrot and how unique they are, the more we can do to protect them. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and comment that you enjoyed it. And if you want to see any other videos of mine, check out my channel. And if you want to see some of my wildlife photography, check out my Instagram and TikTok too. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.